Today I'll show you how to make a fan trellis like this for about the same price as a cup of coffee. All you need is a 1x6 fence picket, 6 feet long. The cost for one of these boards is only about $5 to $6. Really not going to break the bank on this project. Now cedar is the best choice here due to its rot resistant properties, but you could use treated pickets as well. I personally think cedar is a much nicer look in a garden area and is worth the extra couple bucks per board. To the table saw, we're going to rip it into 6 pieces. 1x6 pickets are actually 5.5 inches wide. So by setting our fence to 7/8 of an inch, will give us 5 pieces at 7/8 of an inch and 1 piece left over at 1/2 an inch. Now flip the cut pieces on end so the rough cut side is up. From there, take the 1/2 inch piece and cut it into 3 pieces. One 3 foot, one 2 foot, and 1 foot. Use a scrap block as a stop to line up your pieces. Make a mark at 6 inches up from the bottom. This will be a marker as to where our glue up needs to be. Pre-drill and drive a 3-inch screw on either side. From the other end, mark the center spline at 6, 22, and 44 inches. Mark the center on the 3-foot piece you cut earlier. Line up the center of the 3-foot piece to the 6-inch mark on the center spline. I'm using 1.25" brad nails. Now if you don't have a brad nailer, finish nails and a hammer will work. Just make sure your nails are no longer than 1.25". Now measure 4 inches in from the outside edges of both sides of the 3-foot cross piece. Stretch out the 2 outer splines to the 4-inch mark, glue and nail into place. I recommend using a type 3 exterior glue for all your fastening points. 90% of the time these trellises are used outside, so you will need a waterproof wood glue for this assembly. And for the final 2 middle splines, I usually just eyeball the location between the outside and the middle spline. Repeat the same steps for the 2 remaining cross supports. The last step here is completely optional. Most of the time these trellises are in constant contact with the ground or are at least stabbed into the dirt to stabilize them. So I like to add a little protective coating to each one to prevent any wicking of the wood. So that's pretty much it. These are amazingly simple to make for yourself, and with an assembly jig you can probably batch out a couple hundred of these over a weekend and sell them at your local market. I've seen these things go for as high as $40 to $50 where I live, so if you get creative with your marketing, for example $40 each or 3 for $100, there's a good chance you could have a pretty good weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. The channel's growing much faster than I thought it was going to, and I just want to give a big thanks to everybody for watching, subscribing, sharing, and all you do. And with that being said, I hope you all get out there and build something.